Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach the subject physics of class 9 and the topic for today's discussion is gravitation. Okay, gravitation. So we take two masses in the universe. Okay, any two masses. It may be a subatomic particle, it may be the sun, it may be the earth. So let us take a system of two objects. Okay, any two objects. Each mass particle, the object, if it has got mass, it is called mass particle. Each mass particle of the universe attracts other mass particles. Okay, so if there are two objects standing at a distance, okay, they will be attracting each other with a force. These two particles, if they have got mass, it may be anything. Okay, these are called mass particles. Now these force of attraction, so as I told you, you have got two masses, they attract each other with a certain amount of force. The force of attraction between two masses particles, because of their masses, so this force is basically arising or existing because of the masses of the particle, mass of the particle. Okay, and this force is only known as gravitational force of attraction. Okay, so gravitational force of attraction is the force of attraction existing between any two objects in the universe. Okay, the objects that is called mass particles. And to find out how much force is existing between these two particles, okay, the magnitude of the force, Sir Isaac Newton has already given us a law that is called universal law of gravitation, or also called Newton's law of gravitation. Universal because it is applicable to everything in the universe. So I'll state it as Newton's law of gravitation. What does this law give us? It gives us the magnitude or the amount of force existing between any two mass particles. So according to this law, I'm stating the statement, the force of attraction acting between two bodies is, number one, directly proportional to the product of their masses, and number two, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. It means that the magnitude or the amount of force existing between two particles or two masses depends upon two factors. The two factors, number one is their masses and the second factor is their distance. So Newton's law of gravitation, the force of attraction, that is F, is directly proportional to product of the masses, that means m1 multiplied by m2. So to be clear, I'll just take two particles or two objects of masses m1, m2. They may be equal or not. One may be very huge, one may be very small. Okay, and they are separated by a distance, say r. So r is the distance between the two masses, and the magnitude of the masses are m1 and m2 respectively. So if you just multiply m1, m2, you will get an idea about the force. If the multiplication factor is huge, the force will be huge. If the multiplication factor is small, the force will be small. This is first part of the law. And second part, the force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is the sign of proportionality. If I just put the reciprocal, you'll get it as inversely proportional. So as you increase the distance, the force keeps on decreasing. It's quite natural. Any force, you keep on increasing the distance. Any non-contact force or force at a distance, increase the distance between the two masses or the two objects, you will see that the force keeps on decreasing as square of the distance between the two particles. So Newton's law of gravitation, it states that the force of attraction between any two masses is, number one, directly proportional to the product of the two masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So it basically depends upon the mass and the distance between the two objects. All right. So here we have got two equations or two relations. Can't call it equation. Okay, equal to sign is not still there. But left hand side of these two relations is the same. So we can combine them. So combining equation, let this be 1, let this be 2. So instead of 2 writing the value, the force 2 times, I can just write F is proportional to m1 m2. Just combining them, it will come down, divided by r square. Okay, so stating the Newton's law of gravitation mathematically, we have got, let me rewrite, force is proportional to m1 m2 divided by r square. Now removing a sign of proportionality, we have to put an equal to sign, and after putting an equal to sign, we can't simply copy the right hand side, we have to put a constant. Here the constant is capital G. I'll tell you what it is later. m1 m2 by r square. Now what is this G? It is known as universal gravitational constant. So capital G is called universal gravitational constant. Now constant because the value does not change, universal because the value remains the same throughout the universe. The value will be the same if applied to an atomic particle, the value will be the same if applied to the sun also or any star. So G is a constant of proportionality. It is called gravitational constant or universal gravitational constant. This value of G remains same at all the places and is independent of the nature of particles, as I told you, temperature, medium, etc. Therefore, this is a universal constant and hence called universal gravitational constant. Okay, now we will focus a bit on this G, a new term that we have just learned. We knew about masses, we knew about distances, we didn't know about G. Okay, so F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Now take both the masses is equal to 1 kg. I just want to define G, so I'll put everything as 1 and take the separation between them as 1 meter. I'm taking a standard situation where each mass is equal to 1 kilogram and the separation between the two objects is equal to 1 meter. So if I put everything as 1, then F will come out to be equal to G. That means I can say that universal gravitational constant is equal to force, but not all the time. Okay, so universal gravitational constant G is numerically equal to the force, okay, between two masses each of 1 kg, and when they are separated at a distance of 1 meter, that time universal gravitational constant is equal to the force. This is how we define universal gravitational constant G. Okay, and value of this G is numerical value. As I told you, it's a constant, the value is the same. Value is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. It is the same everywhere. So this value you have to remember. Newton, unit will be Newton. If you just cross multiply, you'll get the unit. Okay, this will be Newton, this will be meter square. Okay, divided by kilogram square. This would go down, kg into kg, kilogram square. So SI unit of universal gravitational constant G is Newton meter square per kg square, and the numerical value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. This is how we define universal gravitational constant. Now we will see the nature of this force of gravity or force of gravitation. Okay, so regarding the gravitational force, it is important to know that the gravitational force between two masses is always attractive. Okay, gravitational force, it has got a special property that it is never repulsive. Other non-contact forces, like we have learnt about magnetic force, electrostatic force, they may be attractive, they may be repulsive. Okay, but unlike these non-contact or force at a distance, this gravitational force or the force of gravity will be always attractive. And number two, second point, we have learned from the law that it is directly proportional to the product of the masses. That means gravitational force depends on the masses, directly on the masses. And thirdly, it is inversely proportional to the square of the separation or the distance between them. It means that if you increase the separation, okay, if you increase the distance between the two objects between which the force is acting, you will see that the force keeps on decreasing. Okay, then it is significant between heavenly bodies, but it is insignificant between ordinary bodies because of the small magnitude of the masses. Heavenly bodies, the masses are huge. Okay, masses are huge, the force also will be huge. It is significant there. But if you take very small objects, very small bodies, like I told you the example between a human being and the earth. Okay, the earth pulls the human being, that's why we are standing on the earth, because of the masses. But if I talk about force given by me on the earth, all right, now that force will not be that significant because my mass compared to the mass of the earth is very, very small. Okay, so it is insignificant if we take small bodies, ordinary bodies. Now, importance of the law of gravitation. Why is this law so important? Okay, this law is important because Sir Isaac Newton himself used this law to explain the motion of planets around the sun. Obviously, the masses are huge, the force is significant, that's why the motion could be explained. Why is the motion fixed at an orbit, in an orbit? It is because it has been held together by a force. What is that force equal to? That is equal to the force of gravity. Or the motion of a satellite around the earth and the motion of a freely falling body. A body, a small mass object, you leave it, it will directly go to the ground. It will not fly around because of the force of gravity. So this law was important to explain all these phenomena in our day-to-day life. All right, now I've been talking about this force of gravity. According to the law of gravitation, the earth attracts each object around it towards its center. Now coming to the earth, okay, I was talking in general between any two objects, between any two planets, between any two stars, between planet and satellite. Now let us talk about the force exerted by the earth. The earth attracts each object around it towards its center. The force with which the earth attracts a body is called the force due to gravity on the body, which can be taken to act vertically downwards at the center of gravity of the body. There is an object, okay, where is the force acting? The center of gravity of the body and the direction of this force, because force is a vector quantity, it needs to have a direction. It will be falling vertically downwards. So the force of gravity will be acting at the center of gravity of an object, the direction of which will be vertically downwards. So we can find out the force due to gravity. So let us have a body of mass m. Okay, and when we are talking about the force due to gravity, we will talk about the earth. The other object is the earth, the mass of which will be taken as capital M, just to signify that this mass is very big compared to the mass of any other object. Okay, the force due to gravity on a body of mass m kept on the surface of the earth of mass m, okay, and radius r is equal to, now the earth has got a radius equal to r, all right, and the body is not flying now, it is just kept at the surface of the earth. So this body is here. Okay, it doesn't mean that they are not separated, they are separated by this amount, that is the radius of the earth, because the force will be acting from the center of the earth. All right, now is equal to the force of attraction between the earth and the body. It is given by force. Applying the universal law of gravitation, force will be equal to G m1 m2. m1 is mass of the earth, m2 is small m, that is the mass of the object that we have kept, divided by the distance of separation between them. The distance is the radius of the earth. It may be kept on the surface, but we have to take the force from the center of the earth, and it is quite a distance from the center to the surface of the earth, so we have to take this as the radius of the earth. Now you have to take the mass of the earth. It will be known to you all. Mass is 5.96 into 10 to the power 24 kg. So we will apply this value here. It is known. Mass of the earth is already known. Okay. And our radius of the earth is 6.37 into 10 to the power 6 meter. We are taking it in SI units. So it is almost 6400 kilometer. Converting it into meter, you will get 6.37 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Okay. You will just apply the value here. The value of G we just found out. It was 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. Applying all this value, okay, and taking mass of the object as 1. It is very small compared to the mass of the earth, so we take it as unity. Okay, taking it as 1, then putting all these values, you will see that the force exerted by the earth on an object of mass 1 kg is equal to 9.8 Newton. Okay, how do you get this value? By applying all this value in the relationship here. Okay, so the earth attracts a body of mass 1 kg by a force of 9.8 Newton towards its center. So we all should know that earth, the force, amount of force exerted on an object, okay, by the earth, due to which the body will fall towards the center of the earth, will be equal to 9.8 Newton, which will be used later on to find out the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth, which is again equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so I think we should stop here. Let me stop with a brief revision of what we have done. We started with the topic gravitation. Okay, then we went on to state the universal law of gravitation stated by Sir Isaac Newton to find out the magnitude between two bodies. Okay, the magnitude of force existing between any two bodies of masses m1, m2 is firstly directly proportional to the product of the masses, and secondly it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two bodies. Okay, then we stated it in a mathematical form. We put two equations, two relations, we combine the relations, and after combining we put a constant, that is G, universal gravitational constant, and we also found out the value of G, or we just came to know about the value of G, that was equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. Unit of capital G is Newton meter square per kg square. Okay, then we also defined universal gravitational constant G, putting both the masses equal to 1 kilogram and the separation between the two bodies to be equal to 1 meter. Then we learned about the nature of gravitational force. We learned that it is always attractive. It depends upon the masses. It depends upon the distance. Okay, it is significant in heavy bodies. It is insignificant in very small bodies. And we also learned about the importance of the law of gravitation. Why is the law of gravitation important? It helps us to understand the motion of the planets around the sun or the satellite around the planets. And we lastly stopped with finding out the force due to gravity, that means the force which the earth exerts on a body that is kept on its surface, which came out to be equal to 9.8 Newton. Okay, so I will stop here. I want to thank you all for paying attention.